So basically, long story short, is I know everybody talks to you about American Idol. Everybody talks to you about being Bobby Bones and radio and the Raging Idiots. And so, back home, we always love your Razorback football, basketball, baseball expertise. So we just wanted to talk to you during this quarantine a little bit. So first question for you, just let's talk about the current Razorback, Sam Pittman. I don't know if you had a chance to meet him yet. What do you think of the hire? Do you like it? Are you excited?
I have had a chance to meet Coach Pittman. He actually messaged me last night too, because I have an old signed ball back there, and he saw it and said, "Hey, you shouldn't have an old ball." So I gave him my address. He's going to send me a new one. But yeah, I know Coach Pittman. I'm excited to see the program just kind of root itself and start over. And he definitely has a history. Even this last draft, he put 2 offensive linemen from Georgia in the first round. So I think when you're building a program inside out's the way to go. So we'll see what happens. Listen, I hope we play this fall. So I'm excited.
That's kind of the thing, too. I mean, what do you think is going to happen with all this? I know everyone's kind of taking a shot in the dark right now. I mean, can you envision a football season happening? Everybody's talking this way. It could happen without fans, with fans. But right now the plan is still to play. I mean, what's your take on this?
I can't see a normal football season happening if all schools aren't in. I do think it'll happen. It just may be delayed. You just can't have the kids being called student athletes and the student part of it not being first. So I think there'll be a season. I think there probably could be some hiccups along the way. I mean, there's been hiccups with everything we've been doing. And with me, I feel like let's make sure everybody's safe first, and let's go from there. But even if we have to move to spring, I've been seeing a lot of folks go, "Hey, we may play college football in the spring." It doesn't matter to me. As long as the Hogs get on the field, I'm good. As long as everybody's safe and we get to play some football and start building the program, I feel pretty good about it.
Amen. Well, I want to go back a little bit. So I know you grew up right here in Arkansas, in Mountain Pine. You can't miss the hometown. Bobby Bones grew up here. Man, what made you a Razorback fan? What was those first sort of memories that you remember calling the Hogs, watching games, sort of your first memories as a Hogs fan?
I mean, probably Quinn Grovey when I was young, and now Quinn is a close friend of mine. We probably talk 2 or 3 times a week. We play NBA 2K on PlayStation against each other. It's pretty wild that someone that you looked at as a kid as one of your football heroes is actually a friend of yours now. We often talk about when I'm governor of Arkansas, he's going to be in my administration. So for Quinn and I, it's been tight. The craziest part of my childhood was watching Arkansas in '94 and 95, but getting that national championship and going back and the basketball being a real powerhouse. So in Arkansas, when you grow up here, it's what there is. We don't have pro sports teams. We have the University of Arkansas, and all of our eggs are in that basket. And so live or die, we're still Razorback Red, and I represent mine all the time, everywhere I am, wherever I go.
Well, that's the thing, too, is as your career sort of started to take off, you go to Nashville, and now it's bigger than, ever. When you meet new people and you meet new folks that, us in Arkansas would look like, oh, my God, I mean, that's a celebrity. And sort of you get to meet them, interview them, and even yourself. Do they realize, the passion of maybe they see behind you on a Zoom call, all the Razorback stuff? They go, man, well, what's with this? I don't get it.
Well, I think if I'm in short sleeves, I have a big Arkansas tattoo on my arm, and I'm not really a tattoo guy, but, I represent the state as proud as I can. And, if you're from the Southeast, everyone kind of knows where you're from. Darius Rucker's a big a big South Carolina fan. He's Gamecocked out. Luke Bryan, who I work with on American Idol, he's Georgia. You kind of all know where you're coming from. There's 2 of us that are known for being diehard Razorback fans, and that's Justin Moore and myself. So, we wear that badge proudly. And, when people have questions about, all right, how good are the Hogs going to be, it's usually Justin and I they come to.
Man, I can imagine. I wanted to ask you, too. So, Mount Rushmore, you got to pick 4. Razorback entirety, who are you putting up there? It can be football, basketball, baseball. Your Mount Rushmore of Arkansas Razorbacks.
That's tough. Now, I'm going to have to go in my lifetime because I can't pick like Ken Hatfield, who was amazing, but before I was born, right? So I'm going to go with people that I've seen play. My 4 would be Quinn. I put Quinn Grovey on there because he was my first Razorback. I put Corliss on there, Corliss Williamson, because, again, he won national championship for us, and he's an Arkansas guy. I probably put Clint Sterner on there. When '98 happened. That was tough, but to see them bounce back and take us over Tennessee the next year, that was really one of the highlights for me, was that '99 win. And then probably Matt Jones,
I
just
love it.
at the electricity that he would bring to a game. And at any point, it was tough not putting Darren McFadden on there. But Matt Jones is the guy that when I was living in Austin, I went to a Texas game, and Matt Jones single-handedly, very handedly, helped beat Texas when I was in Austin in the stadium. And that was really a highlight for me.
Dude, the ambush in Austin, man. I was 13 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the best.
Let me say to McFadden, though, like, that was more of my adult years. I love you, Darren. I just, I'm going back a little bit.
I'm going to tweet at him. I'll tag him and be like, look, it's all good. Sterner's going to love it. Sterner's going to be really excited you put him up there. Well, looking towards the future, I know football, we still don't know yet. Basketball, a little bit further away. The recruiting class that Musselman put together, top 5 recruiting class. You got to come – I think I saw you at Bud Walton this past year. The excitement, the energy that Musselman brought. What do you think about year 2? This class coming in, 4 kids all from Arkansas. I mean, we're projecting maybe top 25, maybe Sweet 16. Basketball is on the way up. What do you think?
I'm excited. What we have is hope right now. I like Coach Muss a lot. I got to hang out with him a little bit. We've talked a little bit just through texting, and I love his energy. I thought we had a relatively good season last year. As compared to what people expected from us. I thought he coached them well. I love just his attitude about winning and culture, and so next year it looks promising. What stinks is Kentucky's got the number 1 class. The SEC in every conference, man, they just don't quit. But we're definitely, if we were a stock, I would be buying all the Arkansas Razorback basketball that I could possibly buy right now.
Well, I know Nashville's not that far from Lexington too. You probably have to deal with Kentucky a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And one of my dear friends is Matt Jones, who runs Kentucky Sports Radio, and that guy is all Kentucky all the time, so I have to hear about it constantly. But that's the beauty of it. We love our teams. We respect each other, and we want to win very badly.
Well, maybe you guys can figure out a bet next season. We'll figure something for you guys to do. You come home a lot, and I think that shows. We see you guys all the time. You're so cool to us and so great to the local media to talk to us and sort of share your experience about being an Arkansan. I know you go back to Mountain Pine. You give back to them, the kids there that grew up there, sort of like you. Why do you do that? What's your connection with not only your state but your hometown too?
Well, I'm very proud of where I come from, and I want to help where I come from because they've helped me. I wish that I was this super amazing hearted guy that was just a really good dude. I don't feel like I am. I feel like I was helped a lot, and I feel like it's my duty and my job to do that. Growing up, I was very poor. I didn't have a dad. My mom was an addict, and if it weren't for church groups and PTAs and friends stepping in and going, "Hey, we'll get you food or Christmas presents," I wouldn't have had all that. And so because of that, I feel like I'm only here because of them. And my calling now is to give back as much as possible. And it's to the people who gave to me, and that's the state of Arkansas, and that's the city of Little Rock and Hot Springs and Mountain Pine, my hometown that I grew up in, and I'm back there a lot too. So my goal until I'm not on earth anymore is to give back to the state of Arkansas in any way I can for as long as I can.
And I know a lot of kids too, growing up, see your show and see you on American Idol and have seen you just kind of grow. Did you ever envision yourself in this spot? I mean, you think of American Idol just like, 20 years ago, it becomes the biggest show on the planet. And now you're a part of it, man. It's still, I think it's surreal for a lot of people here, even when it pops up sometime and you see it, you're like, man, look at that. Like, it's unbelievable. Did you ever envision yourself in this spot where you get to do what you love and at the same time, you're recognized on such a national level now?
Yeah, I did, because if I wouldn't, no one else would, right? If I didn't think I could do it, no one else would. So yes, I did. And I don't think I'm at the place where I need to be right now, not just career wise, but giving back wise. Like I have big goals. And if you don't have big goals for yourself, no one else is going to have them for you. And so, that's what I try to teach to kids and people that are young in business. It's, hey, you got to set your own goals and you got to go get them. If you're going to wait for somebody else to step in and do the work for you, that's not going to happen. And so, maybe not the answer that people expect from me when they say, did you expect to be here? But yeah, I did expect to be here, and I expect to be a lot farther than this too, hopefully.
Hey, man. Well, let's transition a little bit, too, if I could. How you're doing on the quarantine side of things. Quarantine, it's been such a transition I know you used to do so many shows at the Opry in Nashville. Now I've seen you do shows in front of no audience. What is that like? And then at the same time, you're doing Idol from the house. What kind of transition has that been for you?
Yeah, I'm lucky that I get to work from home for the most part. So, I realize that I'm blessed to be able to build a radio studio upstairs and go up and do my radio show every day. So, on Kiss 96 in Central Arkansas, you're hearing that because I'm upstairs and just able to flip a button. I go to the Grand Ole Opry and we still do that show. I produce the Opry and I perform a lot, but right now we're just keeping it going because it's been on for thousands of weeks without ever stopping. So that was our goal, is to keep a country music tradition going. So I'm out there. There's nobody in the audience. I'm lucky. I've been able to watch some really cool performances where I'm the only one getting to watch. Garth and Trisha and Keith Urban last week and Ricky Skaggs. And so for me, that's been really cool. I can't wait for the Opry to get back, though. I love doing stand-up comedy and actually performing on the Opry. But, I'm ready for some normalcy. But, I'm doing a trivia show from my house that is being sought after by TV networks now, which is crazy. I just kind of started throwing it together on my Instagram using Zoom. And then, hopefully really soon we're going to announce my first real life TV show that I have. I've been doing American Idol and a lot of these other projects, but, my goal is to find the right show for me, put my name on. And hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so, I'll be able to release what we have, because I have a new show that will be coming out real soon.
You can break some news right now if you want, man.
I know. I can't. I haven't signed the final page of the contract yet. We're like 99% there.
Man, I know the THP11 bosses would be like, if he can just admit that on THP11. No, it's all good. All right, these are going to be sort of rapid fire, quick questions about quarantine. All right, during the time at home, obviously we're all indoors, can't do a whole lot. It's sort of reopening a little bit right now, but during your quarantine time, rapid fire. All right, quarantine go-to food.
Probably just a bar, any kind of bar I can grab and just run upstairs. So that's not a fun answer, but any kind of protein bar.
Protein bar, it's a good tip. All right, go-to quarantine movie.
I don't watch many movies. I've watched The Last Dance every week. We save them and kind of spread them out, but I haven't really watched. I watched Oklahoma for the first time, the musical from 1955, because my girlfriend's from Oklahoma. I think that might be the only movie I've seen in a while.
No, it's good, man. I was in Oklahoma in high school. I don't blame you one bit. All right, quarantine. All right, right now, song you're listening to or artist. Yeah.
Does PlayStation count? That's usually what I'm doing with my downtime, is I go up and play PS4, NBA 2K. Morgan Wallen, maybe. That's probably the last guy that I listen to on my iPhone.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. That kind of led me to my next question. Okay, I was gonna ask you PlayStation, Xbox, 2K. You said, right? Is that your go-to?
That's the only game I play. I've never been a gamer ever, but whenever we were kind of locked in, I thought, well, let me get a PS4, and I play it all the time. I play NBA 2K20 all the time. You guys can find me, Bobby Bone Show. That's my name. If you see somebody playing, a little white dude, like the smallest guy in the court, that's me.
Got it, 2K. All right, let's see. Sporting event you may have rewatched or wanted to go back and watch again just to feel some sort of normalcy. Best sporting event you've watched that's happened.
I've enjoyed watching all the 90s Michael Jordan highlights. I thought The Last Dance was great. I wasn't a Bulls fan growing up. I remember Michael Jordan. I was a 90s kid, but it was kind of cool to go back and remember a lot of that stuff that happened.
All right, now maybe settle this one too. Is Jordan the GOAT, or would you go with somebody else?
I think right now he is. I think LeBron's on his heels. I think LeBron's got a little bit of ground to cover. LeBron needs a few more championships and still has some time to do that. But yes, I would still say Jordan is. LeBron can catch him, though.
I like it. Favorite Central Arkansas sportscaster?
Well, come on. I think
if you say Steve Sullivan.
Okay. Here's the deal. I have a much longer history with Sully, and I'm gonna tell you, even with Baz, But I'm gonna go because I'm here with you. I'm gonna go for sure with Steve Sullivan.
Bye. Hey, I will give you major props. You followed me on Twitter. It's probably why my wife married me. She was like, wait a minute.
You have to understand, Hayden, that Steve was doing sports when I was young. Me
too. I grew up watching him.
Yeah, I grew up watching. So, once it's like you're on his heels. You're like LeBron.
I'm LeBron. He's MJ.
Steve's the GOAT, but you're LeBron. You're chasing him.
Oh, man. You just called me LeBron. You made my day, man.
Yeah.
You made my day. Well, I really appreciate it, man. That's about all I got for you. If there's any Arkansas lore or sports history or any Go Hogs you want to add, but man, it's been fun talking a little sports. Even though maybe one day we'll eventually get back there.
Me too. Listen. I love talking sports. I love talking Arkansas sports. I was doing a podcast with 24/7 recently, and I used to do a national sports show for a long time. So I'm a big sports fan just in general, and they had asked me my favorite in-person memory of any sporting event. And it was Decory, Birmingham. I was in Little Rock catching the touchdown pass in the corner and us all running on the field. And I remember I jumped down at War Memorial. I was in the end zone where he caught the ball. I jumped down and there was a tarp below. I didn't see the tarp. And I jumped and I hit it and I wiped out. And I was like dragging my leg. But I was still in the middle of the field going crazy. And I think my leg took about 2 months to kind of heal up, but that was my greatest sports. I'm actually rubbing it as I say that right now because it hurt so long. I think that's my greatest Arkansas sports memory in being there. So yeah, that was fun to talk. It's always fun to talk to Arkansas Razorbacks. It's so easy for me. Obviously it's natural.
I'll tell you, man, I kid you not. I was at the same game. I was 11 years old. It was one of the best memories I ever had. And now, I kid you not, our house is like half a mile from War Memorial. We live right in the middle of the rock. It's right down the road. But Miracle on Markham, it was the best, man. I mean, it was to go to Atlanta. It was the best.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So there's that. Hey, I appreciate you talking to me, and go
Thank
hard.
you, man. Yeah, absolutely. Take care. You are welcome anytime. You say the word, and THV11 would love to have you.
All right. Hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. Tell Sully I said what up. He's my favorite.
I will. I will. Thank you.
All right. See you, Hayden.
See you, buddy. Have a good one.